It's very similar to Habib. He was brought up in a tough, hard environment, and it shaped him. Very much like myself, it's not, you're brought up in that environment of hard work and toughness and representing your people and who you are and that history as a people. That's why you walk that path. There are many easier paths to go. That's why you walk that path. Someone has to do it, and you have to embrace that warrior history that you have, that lineage. Habib, he wears his papaka. I got the turban. It means something. You stand out with that. Again, for him, it's a spiritual connection. That's where he's going to war. He's wearing his papaka. I'm wearing my turban. I'm going to war. Let's go. You see that on a battlefield, you better go the other way. We have our war cries and our battle cries. I draw inspiration from that. It's greater than us.
Hello. When we think of East Indian, warrior is rarely the first word that comes to mind. Why? Well, much of it has to do with the H-1B visa. The H-1B visa pulls brain power from other countries in order to fulfill the high demand of specialty roles like the ones demanded by the tech hub Silicon Valley. That's where India comes into play. India's most valuable export is arguably brain power. With 1.3 billion people in a hyper-competitive environment, the H-1B visa siphons a minuscule percentage who rise to the top in that environment, taking their brain power in exchange for a much better standard of living. That's what ends up making it in. Thus, what you gain is not a sample reflective of the whole, men and women who spent most of their lives doing little else but study. Thus you see where the stereotype comes from, but the truth remains, India rich in resources, it was invaded by Genghis Khan, by Great Britain, Alexander the Great. To survive the struggles brought on by their own vast wealth, they had to adapt and become a warrior culture. When you see men from certain parts of India, that is exactly what you see. Big, strong men who naturally possess a high physical aptitude, very contradictory to the stereotypes propagated. Arjan Bhullar is an example of this. A contradiction, displaying excellence throughout his wrestling career alongside holding an Olympic wrestling pedigree. He made it to the grand stage of the UFC, and only the best compete in this arena. If you've seen what it takes to make it to this stage, or even the reverse, the quality of competition that still cannot make it in, you understand. Every man and or woman who steps foot in this arena is a rare breed in and of themselves. This is where Arjan Singh Bhullar is looking to break, and is breaking stereotypes, as the first Punjabi to enter this prestigious arena. Thank you for joining me as Arjan Bhullar shares his story.
I'm Arjan Singh Bhullar. That Singh means something. I don't have a fight name. They ask me, what's your fight name? I don't need a fight name. I have a real name and it means something. Singh means lion. That was given to us by the founders of our religion. Everyone in the world with the Sikh nation have the middle name Singh. And those people that were fighting those invading armies, that oppression, that's my connection to them. Today, that's my connection to the people around the world. Whether we've ever met, we are connected. Doesn't matter if your belief system, your caste, your gender. If you go to a person with a name Singh in their name, they're ready to stand with you and fight for what is right. We can be as ferocious as we need, but we can also be as humble as we should be. We can be as courageous as the circumstance requires, and we can be as respectful as we should be as well. It's both sides, and that's what my people are, and that's what I am, and I'd love to represent that and speak to who I am and where I come from. I can remember so many times being lectured about greatness, what it takes to be great. I would go to tournaments, and if I lost, I'd have to run home from the tournament. I'd been dropped off on the road. I'd come back to our gym, put in work, because I knew the guy who won is celebrating. He's not doing that. So next time out, I will win the next battle. Get that edge. And then it's funny because when I won, I was also made to do the same thing. It was, hey, you won, but if you want to go that extra step, every other champion is not going to be doing this. Do you want to be great? This is what it takes to be great. I've missed weddings, birthdays, I've missed everything because of my dedication to my craft. A lot of these lectures, man, it was long drives, you know, being told what it means to be great. If you're sick, you go train, you go compete. Anyone can win when they're comfortable. Anyone can win when they're on point. But when you're sick and when you're down, it brings out something else from deep within to have that success. If you can do it at that point, you can do it when you're comfortable, when it's easy. Hey, if it's snowing outside, no one's gonna be going for a run in that snow. Now you go seek that out. You go do what no one else is doing. You seek the uncomfortable. You don't run from it. You don't hide from it. You embrace it. Too many people nowadays want to live a comfortable life, a soft life, an easy life. That's what every product is pitched in that manner. And it drives me crazy. Why would you want to do that? If you can get used to life on a difficult path, it becomes easy. If you seek out the easy way, life will always be difficult for you. Have depression, have anxiety, can't handle stress, They're always looking for the easy way out, so life's hard. If you seek out the hardest path, life's easy. When my family first came to Canada from India, they immigrated, much like every other family of that time, a lot of racism. If you're walking on the same street, this is Canada we're talking about. You're walking on the street, you have to cross the street if there's a white man on the street because you get jumped or you get spat on or that type. This happened, I'm not talking generations to my parents. This wasn't generations ago. So you better believe I'm going to represent who I am. I'm going to let them know what I'm about. I don't need to cross the street anymore. I don't need to be fearful of being jumped. I'll handle myself. I'm a Punjabi. I draw inspiration from the hardships my family went through to give me the opportunity I have. I'm not going to waste it. That sacrifice wasn't for nothing. Tomorrow I can wake up and have a comfortable, easy life. You choose the hard path. That's what greatness requires. Otherwise, everyone would be great. The thing, I was growing up and going to school, high school, house parties, friends are going out, all that type of stuff. So what I was told was, do you want to go out and go to these parties and be like everyone else? Or do you want to walk into that room and everyone know, hey, that guy's a champion? If you go to that party, you're still getting up at 5 a.m. before school and you're going to go put in work. Because that's what greatness requires. Otherwise, if you're sitting with people that aren't great, you're going to become that. You surround yourself with what you want to be. That's why I'm at AKA. It's a house full of champions. I was never told, do this or do that. I was given options. If you do this, this will be a road to greatness, or you can do this. That's a daily decision people have to make in life. You can take the guaranteed paycheck, 9 to 5, go home, live for your weekends, live for your holidays, or you can have a purpose every single day for something greater than that. It might not have as much security, but you know inside you belong to that. And it's worth chasing. It's worth being great. For me, you don't have to be an athlete to be great. I think my grandfather was great. I think the hardships he had when he immigrated, didn't know the language, didn't have a dollar in his pocket. My father's. My grandmother was pregnant with my father when my grandfather immigrated. He hadn't seen his dad in 12 years. When he first came to Canada, he met his father. I think my father's great for that. My uncle, hard labor, sawmills, heavy work back in that day. He was underage and he was underweight because they weighed you. He hid weights in his pockets to be able to work and earn a paycheck for our family. I think that's much more greater than me. My father's never had a job when he was an athlete. Never had a job, like myself. Never had a job. It was you dedicate yourself to your craft fully, and we support you as a family. Don't worry about money. Don't worry about nothing. Go dedicate yourself to greatness. Wherever you have to go around the world to train, to compete, go do it. I think that was greatness for our family, to be able to do that and come together. That's our village coming together to support a champion. They did the same for me. So you better believe I'm going to do something in return. That's not going to be for nothing. Dad coached me for many, many years in wrestling. I did my amateur wrestling. As I started, making my run to the Olympics, I realized this sport is really blowing up. And it's exciting. Many of the former champions are wrestlers. You know, watching Mark Coleman, Randy Couture, Dan Severn, Cain Velasquez, Daniel Cormier. All these guys are heavyweight wrestlers that have had success in the UFC. Even Brock Lesnar. So seeing that, knowing these people from wrestling currently, it excited me at the opportunity to gain a bigger platform to have an impact. And that was really, truly what excited me about the UFC, to be able to tap into that platform and connect with people for my purpose, which is greater than just having a fist fight in a cage. That's too simple for me. Yes, I love chaos, and like I said, that's my Punjabi blood in me, but the greater purpose than me is that to be able to tap into the UFC platform that they've created globally. I'm grateful for that, and I'm excited for that. There's no other North American sport that has been successful in the East in India. None. And so I'm excited to lead this company into India and connect with Punjabis, especially because they have that history of success in combat, to light a match, give them a way to a global stage and out of the villages. You know, it'll benefit the company and the sport definitely, and also my people back home. And you know, in North America we have so much opportunity, and it's squandered. It's wasted away by kids, by youth. And you know, people in the East, you give them a little bit, they'll go a mile with that. All they need is a little bit of hope, of opportunity, and they run with it. And so I'm excited for that. That's what really got me into the sport. Being the first is always special. You have a responsibility. You open the door for many others to come through, and also taking the sport east to where no sport has gone. No North American sport, basketball, football, hockey, you name, baseball. No, they haven't. UFC can be the first. And it's a 1 billion person market. Everyone speaks English because the British ruled previously, and it's in the school system. It's going to be an easy sell, and I'm excited to get out there and lead that charge. The other part was I was thinking, you know, if not me, then who? Why not me? I come from an Olympic wrestling pedigree. I have, you know, the lineage, the culture, the pride, the motivation, and the talent. You know, I'm coming out of AKA. It's an educated decision I made. I went down there to see, okay, what is this sport about? What do people do? And threw myself in with AKA, best fighters in the world, Khabib, Luke, Cain, DC, especially the best wrestling heavyweights. And I'm proud to represent that legacy of that AKA's created, of champions, of heavyweight champions. And all of those things everything's lined up. And in life, whether you want to call it fate, destiny, whatever it is, whether it happens or not, all you can do is dedicate yourself to a process and give it your all. And that's what I've done, and I've got all my ducks in a row. And I believe if it's in my destiny to be a champion, it will happen. There's nothing else I can do to dedicate myself more. This is all I do. I wake up, I train, and I don't think many people can compare to that.
Arjan Bhullar is currently the 25th ranked heavyweight on MMA World Ranking. On his mission to influence the direction of Indian mixed martial arts, he in turn shares the proud warrior spirit of his people. This innately breaks Indian stereotypes throughout that process. Understanding this, I wish him the best of luck. After all, the path he has chosen is perhaps one of the harshest allowed in civilized society. To that end, one thing is for certain. Thank you, Arjan Bhullar, for showing us that the surface is only the tip of the iceberg. Regardless of who you are or where you are from, may this proud warrior stand as testament to the individual and what he or she is capable of, opposed to what the world preconceives of you. With who you are and what you believe in, what you stand for, with what you hold in your heart, regardless of what the world thinks, may it feel your meaning as you aim for the moon. Because who knows, even if you miss, you'll land amongst the stars. Thank you, Arjan Bhullar, for this lesson. May we all wish him the best as he continues his journey. If you like more from me, please subscribe and hit the notifications. Thank you for your day. Share the video if you enjoyed the message. Someone else may as well. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. It's good karma. And until next time, peace.